Let's talk about the mysterious death of a 25-year-old lady by the name of Princess Cooper, whose lifeless body was found in her pool of blood behind the Flowers Building Material store at Elwa Junction in Liberia. Now, it was believed she died on Thursday, the 24th of March 2022. Earlier that day, it was said she woke up normally like she usually does and went for her job. She is a professional caterer, and that Thursday morning, she had a job to attend to. Now, while she was at her catering job, it was said she got a phone call from someone no one knows. And immediately she dropped the phone call, she told her colleagues at the catering job that she would be right back, that she had somewhere to go to. That would be the last time her colleagues would hear from her. No one knows where she was going to, and she didn't tell anyone where she was going to. However, 1 hour later, she called her best friend, Wele, on a Facebook video call. In the call, it was said Princess was crying to her friend, telling her friend that they are killing her and that the friend should help. The friend who picked the call said she did not see anyone else in the video, that it was just Princess crying frantically. But she noticed something else in the video call as Princess was talking. The friend said she saw blood in Princess' mouth as she spoke in the video. Before the friend could ask her who was killing her and what was the cause of the blood in her mouth, Princess hung up the call. Wele tried to call Princess back, but every time she kept calling, Princess wouldn't take the calls, and that was when she knew that something bad was happening to her friend. Later that same day in the afternoon, a group of kids around this Flowers Building Material at another compound were said to have climbed in a plum tree to pluck some fruits. And while the kids were in the tree plucking the fruits, they noticed a dead body inside the compound of the Flowers Building, but behind the building itself. And the children also noticed that there were blood splashes near where the body was laying down. At the same time, Princess' friend has reported to the family, and the family had reported to the police. And they were in search for her because they did not know where she went. However, the police were soon quick to find Princess' body when the kids who saw her body lying in a pool of blood informed the police also. And that was when the police were called to the scene, only to discover that the dead body behind the Flowers Building Construction Company was that of Princess Cooper. Now, just for clarity, it was the same day that she went missing that she was still found. It was in the afternoon that the police were able to get to the Flowers Building Construction Company to discover her body laying in its pool of blood. Now, this story is currently developing in Liberia as we speak, so there is a chance that there will be more information in the future. But right now, this is all we know so far regarding the mysterious death of Princess Cooper, because it's about to even get more mysterious. In a live video made at the scene where her body was discovered, you could see splashes of blood on the floor leading to the fence of the Flowers Building Material store. The blood splashes are very enormous. Sorry I had to make it black and white in this video, it's just to make for an easy viewing. Seeing the nature of the heaviness of the blood splash believed to have been made by Princess Cooper, it is very obvious that this girl might have been stabbed or cut or beaten to stupor to the point she's able to pour out so much blood. However, when the police took her body for examination, they concluded that there was no cut or bruises on the dead girl's body. According to some headlines, the police are saying that they don't suspect foul play, and that is because there were no cuts and bruises on her body, which is confusing to me. A lot of Liberians are calling bullshit. They believe the police are trying to cover up something. But the thing is, when it comes to these kinds of spontaneousness, when it comes to cuts and bruises, I don't think there's anything they can hide, because if the family of the girl gets to see her body, they too can tell if she had been cut or stabbed or bruised. So I don't think the police are lying about her not having any cuts and bruises in her body. However, how did she make so much blood? And where did all this blood come from? If she wasn't stabbed, if she wasn't caught, if she wasn't beaten or attacked by somebody, then how else did she make so much blood? Even at the spot where her body was removed, because her head was laid here when her body was found. After her body was removed, you could see the volume of blood splashes on the spot where her head was placed. Is it that all those blood came from her mouth? And of course that is a possibility. It's very possible that she vomited all these trays of blood all to the fence and eventually to the spot where she laid dead. And to back that up, her friend Wele did confirm that when she called her on video call, she saw blood in her mouth, which clearly proves the point that all those blood that we saw on the fence and on the floors of the Flowers Building store most likely came from her mouth. She most likely threw those blood out of her body, which would most likely mean that she could have been poisoned to death. So who poisoned her? And why was it done behind the building construction store? And it's not as if the blood trails can lead you to a particular starting point. The blood trails started from the center of the backyard compound. It started from here all the way to the fence before her body where this yellow mark is. So in the entire backyard of the building construction store, you could not trace this blood trail to any part of the corners in the backyard. It just started abruptly. It's almost as if she just stood there and whatever was given to her began to take effect at that moment. The police are still saying that there was no cuts or bruises in her body, and some sources are saying that the police are saying that there is no foul play, which interprets as they don't believe anybody killed her, which I don't understand why the police would say no foul play just because they did not see bruises or cuts. Did they think of the possibility that she was poisoned? And did they also put into consideration that when she called her friend, she told her friend in the video that they are killing her, which indicates that somebody did something to her. Liberians are calling justice for Princess. They believe that there is so much more behind her death than what is being reported. And many of them believe that the police might know more than they are sharing. In the police defense, 3 security guards for this building have been placed in their custody for questioning. They have also taken into custody some employees and workers in this building for questioning. Hopefully the questioning will yield relevant information regarding her death. Because honestly, if she died behind this building, someone in this building should know about it. If the killer is not in this building, someone who knows the killer is in this building. Although I first thought, wait, if somebody in this building killed her behind the building, why would they leave her body there for it to be discovered by the police? But then again, I thought, it did not take long before she was found. And besides, it was not somebody in the building who reported. Remember, it was a group of kids from outside the building plucking from a tree that saw her body inside the compound. It was those kids that discovered her body and raised alarm, which invariably make the people in this building the suspects. Now, mind you, this is not a single entity. This is a Flowers Building Material and General Goods store. There are various shops and stores that belong to different individuals. It's like the ShopRite for building materials. Each of these stores belongs to different people, which could mean that somebody in this building may have lured her into the building for the purpose of killing her however they wanted to. Maybe they were planning to dispose of her body later in the day before it was soon found. Because the tunnel in which you could get to the backyard of this building is just by the corner of the building. It looks really creepy and it has gates. And this was a spot where she laid, which probably means she was trying to get out of that building. Maybe they thought they were going to dispose of the body after a long time, but thankfully those kids plucking those fruits from the tree discovered it sooner. I personally believe strongly that somebody who have access to this building had a hand in her death. Or could it be that she came for a job interview or was just passing around when she felt sick and wanted to use the bathroom of this construction company? And a lot of these construction building material stores, they have their bathrooms at the backyard. So is it possible she actually came to use their bathroom and suddenly began to throw up blood? That could also be a possibility. But I just think the police need to stop saying that there is no foul play. Yeah, they need to do thorough investigation. It's too early to say that there is no foul play. It's just too early. Which is why I think a lot of Liberians are saying that the police are trying to cover up something. Her boyfriend was one of the first family members to come to the scene where he discovered her body, and he was totally shattered. It turned out that she's the mother and she has a son, which kind of gives me the idea that she was probably looking for another job when she left her catering job to come around this area. It's really an unfortunate, mysterious incident, and we hope that the Liberian police do a good job in finding out the real cause of her death and fishing out anyone who would have a hand in her death. So friends, let me know what you think about the mysterious death of Princess Cooper. What do you think could have most likely happened to this young girl? Like I said, this is a developing story. So over time, we might get updates as to what caused her death or who and who might have been arrested in connection to her death. So if you want updates to this story, stay subscribed and keep an eye on this page because I'll be sure to follow up this story.